union talk and amending tax return information. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I want to retract a statement that I made in a video I uploaded last night speaking about supporting unions. And I'm going to share with you a little tidbit of information about amending my tax return and share a short story with you because I believe you will find it something to, I guess, relate to. You probably can, many people probably can relate to it. Unions. I'm not totally against unions. I was speaking about my one experience of working a job under union guidance, and I feel they hold a corporate agenda and people think you're dumb. That's my opinion, my experience. And I feel there are many, and in the industry I'm in, the poor working class that are not educated enough to protect themselves. Good people, I worked with many good people that I liked, that I said, a good thing somebody's watching over them because they're going to get used more than me. My situation was very different. I didn't want to let go of setting myself up for a much brighter future financially, less financial worries. I didn't want to stay a part of the working class poor. That's how I see it now. With what's been going on in the past 4 years, that's how I feel. Just life experience, that's me. I've also witnessed people like quiet quitting, people working the system just enough that they'll never get fired. They have good income. They have a union protecting them, but they're not good for morale. And good people end up leaving. I'm sure you've heard that dozens of times. That's how I felt I should be a little more clear of how I feel about unions. And there are many union jobs out there that need oversight, jobs out there that need a union oversight because they're dangerous jobs and they can be taken advantage of and put in unsafe work environments. But then in any industry, any niche, there's always like that 5 or 10% that there are some people that just don't deserve their jobs. But they, like I said, they know how to work the system. They'll never get fired. And that's why companies constantly move them around. They're not good for morale. It brings down the whole vibe of all the other people who really enjoy their job and their security. And that's why they appreciate people making sure that they're being taken care of properly while working, while giving their time for money. Why did I amend my 2022 tax return? And why am I going to amend my 2021 tax return? Because I have taken the time to learn how to do my own taxes, prepare my own tax return. I started 3 years ago. And this year, I received one-on-one training how to use TurboTax and a more of an understanding about business expenses and tax deductions. And doing so, I went, wow, I didn't do that last year. So this year, I went back into TurboTax and I amended my tax return, and it was accepted and approved. So now I'm going to receive a little more money back from the state because I pay taxes this year. Now, last year, I will share this in another video because I don't want this to be a 20-minute long video. There was something that I learned this year that I didn't enter last year. and I could get half the taxes I paid back. And I understand what happened. And I already looked in TurboTax, and they allow you to amend 2021 tax return. There's no charge. I can do it if I do it through TurboTax. Why not give it a go? Because now it actually says on top, you did not, submit this last year. I'll do it in another video. And they're right, I didn't. I should get half the taxes I paid back. That's what I believe will happen. See, this is the kind of stuff you learn when you start learning how to take care of yourself and not rely so much on other people telling you what to do, and relying solely on, I hired you as a financial advisor, I hired you as an accountant. I need, help. You got to educate yourself, because once you do, you're going to go, I already look back and I go, accountants didn't care about me. They, charged me a cheap fee, got me out the door. Nobody really gives a shit. That's how I feel. And I've had a handful of accountants in my time, and I feel the same way about every single one of them. I've shared a story about, she was actually a friend of the family, like someone that we actually knew, a good acquaintance. And she sat there and told me it was a good thing that I took an extra $5 a week out of my paycheck. That's when I was starting to do that. That's the worst thing you can do. So learn what you need to do. I took the time to write a new blog post to inform gig workers that you need to learn more about what deductibles you can deduct, like those miles. Read my article. It's interesting. It's a good one. All my own content. And I also speak about the legitimate instant cash out fees that not all companies send you. Uber does. I learned about that this year, and I'm going to amend it on my last year taxes. And what else do I speak about? Oh, the Social Security and Medicare. Understanding that you can deduct half of that as a deduction. But TurboTax was doing that for me automatically. But this year, I actually understand what the software program was doing for me. Do you hear me? So check out the link in the description below. Now let me share that story with you. I have my windows wide open. It's not about perfection. It's about just getting my point across and helping gig workers keep more of their income. I deliver Uber Eats. It's about 6 months ago. I delivered to this woman in Wantar. She works at a little office off of Wantar Avenue. We chit-chatted. She told me that she worked for the railroad. This is her part-time gig. She's allowed to work so many hours not to lose her benefits. Like, she has money coming in because she worked for the railroad for years. And that she's limited. And she was asking me about Uber Eats, Grubhub, any of the apps that I was working. And, we built a little friendship. And she also said that her kid was coming home from school and her kid needed she needed to earn money while they were home with her. But she was interested in it too. She actually sent me a message, and I'll see her again. She's not that far away. That because she can't earn so much more money. She's capped, or she'll lose the benefits she worked for most of her life. That's what I don't like about, we'll say, union jobs, stuff like that. I'm assuming she has a union job. I would think the railroad is a union. They cap you. So say, you're fully retired and you're 64 years old and you're a great fit 64-year-old, and you're told that you can't earn more money because you'll lose what you worked for so hard for over the years. That's what I don't like about that. My path might have seemed unstable to many over the years, but I look back now and I go, I'm grateful. I don't need to be capped the second half of my life. I know what's coming around the bend for me. And I also don't need to work for someone 50, 60 hours a week the way I did when I was younger. But when you're young, you work a lot, you know. For me, I do have a few things to show for it. I do own a little home, and I gained a lot of education, especially in the past 5 years, self-custody, wallets, more of a financial education, understanding that I don't need to be capped, understanding how to pay less taxes. My life continues to get easier financially. And thank God I stopped listening to my environment of worry and fear and just go to work and do. But, I was hurting myself. I was hurting myself to have less. So this woman is capped that she can't do what I'm doing. And that would probably be something she could do 10 hours a week. But she's so afraid to earn too much money because then she loses all the benefits she worked for when she worked at the railroad. That's some story. And I'm sure many people can relate to that. I'll see you in the next video. Visit the link in the description below and check out my latest blog post at myincomejob.com.